All right, let's dive into something really fascinating today. We're going to unpack a powerful idea that your focus, quite literally, shapes your reality. It's a framework that suggests your perception isn't just some window to your world, it's the very light that creates it.
So at the heart of this whole idea is this simple but really profound metaphor from our source text in Matthew. The light of the body is the eye. Now, what does that even mean? Well, it means your perspective, where you put your focus, is the lamp that illuminates everything. It's what determines whether you live in brightness and clarity or in shadow and confusion.
Okay, so the crucial concept here is having a single eye. And no, this isn't about literally having one eye, of course. It's all about having an undivided focus. Think of it as the complete opposite of being double-minded or having double vision. You know, where you're trying to look at good things and bad things at the same time and everything just gets distorted and blurry. A single eye is clear, it's whole, it's locked in.
And right here, we see the two paths laid out for us. It's a choice. With a single, clear focus, your entire being is filled with light. But with a distorted focus, an evil eye, your whole body gets plunged into darkness. This choice of where you point your attention, well, it has total body consequences. So let's explore these two different ways of seeing. First up, let's walk down the path of distortion. This is what happens when our focus becomes, well, corrupted. And it's not just about looking at bad things, it's about how we look at the world in a way that actively creates darkness, discontent, and negativity in our own lives.
The text actually calls out several common traps that lead to this kind of distortion. We're going to break down 4 of them: the critical eye, the conceited, the comparing, and the covetous. Each one of these is a mental habit that clouds our perception and fills our world with shadows. Okay, first up, critical eyes. And wow, this analogy gets right to the point, doesn't it? It's describing that tendency to obsess over a tiny speck, a mote, in someone else's eye, while we're completely ignoring the giant wooden beam sticking out of our own. It's a vision that's just constantly judging and nitpicking others, and it's a habit that ends up poisoning our own spirit.
Next are comparing eyes, and this is such a huge trap. It's when we're constantly looking at other people to figure out our own worth. Instead of having some fixed internal standard, we use the people around us as a shifting, totally unreliable yardstick. You know the thoughts, well, I give more than them, or at least I'm not like so-and-so.
And the source material is incredibly blunt about this. It doesn't mince words. When we compare ourselves among ourselves, it says we are not wise. Plain and simple. See, comparison doesn't lead to growth or happiness. It's a foolish game that only leads to 2 places, pride or envy. And it robs you of any real reward for the good you might be doing.
Then we have covetous eyes. This is that relentless hunger for more, a focus that's just locked on what we don't have. The text points out that the eyes of man are never satisfied. It doesn't matter if it's a bigger boat or a nicer house. This kind of focus is a guaranteed recipe for being discontent, because the finish line is always moving.
So you add it all up, the criticism, the comparing, the coveting, and the result is pretty predictable, right? Your inner world, your whole body, it just becomes filled with the darkness of pride, jealousy, and constant dissatisfaction. Your focus has literally created a world of shadows. But, and this is a big but, there is another way.
Okay, so now let's flip the script. Let's explore how to build a totally different reality. This is path 2, the vision of clarity. And it isn't about ignoring the world, but about seeing it through a lens of light and purpose and compassion.
And you know, this path can actually be broken down into 2 really actionable steps. First, we learn to discern, to see with compassionate and concerned eyes. And second, we learn to direct, to consciously take control of our vision and fix it on what really matters most.
So what does it even mean to have discerning eyes? Well, it's about shifting your focus outward. Instead of being all preoccupied with your own wants or other people's faults, you actually start to see the needs around you. The source describes Jesus seeing the multitudes and being moved, not with judgment, but with care. And this type of vision, it's defined by one thing: compassion. Instead of judgment, you see people who are lost or struggling, and you're moved to help. It's a focus that connects you to humanity rather than separating you from it.
All right, step 2 is all about taking active control. This is huge. A clear, single eye doesn't just happen by accident. Nope. It requires a committed, conscious effort to direct your focus away from all the distractions and toward your ultimate purpose. It's about choosing what gets your attention. The text offers this great modern-day metaphor for this. Just imagine you're driving a truck,
and it's full of luggage. And on every single suitcase, there's a little pink tag just flapping in the wind. Well, those tags, they represent the endless distractions of life, constantly fighting for your attention.
And this is the key right here. Having a single eye means you make a deliberate choice to keep your eyes on the road ahead, on your destination, instead of getting mesmerized by all those little pink tags flapping around on the rearview mirror. You choose your focus, and you don't let the noise pull you off course.
So let's bring this all home. What we've really seen is that the simple act of choosing where to look is one of the most powerful forces in shaping our lives, our character, and our happiness.
And just to show you how absolutely central this idea is, get this. Our source points out that words like eye, see, look, and behold appear over 572 times in the Bible. I mean, wow, that's not just some minor theme, right? That is a foundational principle for how to live.
At the end of the day, it really boils down to this choice. A distorted vision, one that's based on criticism and comparison and coveting, it will always corrupt and darken your world. But a clarified vision, one that is compassionate and intentionally directed, well, that will illuminate your path and guide your actions.
This quote from the source just nails it, doesn't it? It's not just what you see, but how you choose to see it. And that single choice, it reverberates through your entire being, affecting everything from your mood to your actions.
So we'll end with a question to take with you. If it's true that your focus is the very lamp that lights up your entire world, then maybe the most important question you can ask yourself today is this: where are you choosing to look?